Alright, so today all we did was look at a bunch of examples dealing with congruent figures and what we can figure out from them. What we want to look at first here is we're given that triangle PIT is congruent to triangle BAL. So we want to name three pairs of sides and three pairs of angles we can come from them. Well, look at angles first, if they're easier. We'll start with angle P. Angle P is in the first position, so it must be congruent to the first letter in the second triangle. So P and B must be congruent. Same way, if I look at I and A, I'll say angle I congruent to angle A. And in the same way for the last one, angle T congruent to angle L, all based on what position they are in. Now, I can do the same now looking at the sides. So the first side I can look at here is side PI. They are the first two letters in that triangle. So we'll look at the first two in the second triangle. BA is the side length that is, or the side that is congruent to it. Similarly, I can do IT, the second two letters. It must be congruent to AL. And if I do PT, which is the first and third, then it must be the first and third of the second one as well, which is BL, like so. So that's how you can find your three pairs of angles and three pairs of sides that are congruent. Now in this problem, are the triangles congruent? Remember, to say they are, we need to have three pairs of sides and three pairs of angles all congruent to each other. Well, we have three pairs of sides for sure. BC and YZ are the same, AB to XZ, and then XY to AC. We have only two angles here marked. However, remember the third angles theorem tells us if two angles are the same in two triangles, then the third angles must also be the same. Now we have all pieces we need, all six pieces. So to make a congruent statement, we're going to say triangle, we'll call ABC, doesn't matter the order, is congruent to, in this case, we have to go in the same order. So if we went from one angle mark to 2 to 3, we need to do the same here, from 1 to 2 to 3. X, Z, Y. That way the pieces match up. A and X are congruent, which they are. B and Z are congruent, they should be. C and Y are congruent. C has 3, Y has 3. We then looked at a couple other examples that we were doing, dealing with this. We want to write a congruent statement, if possible, for the following triangle. In this triangle, we're going to name it ABC, and then another triangle CDE. We're going to be given that these sides are the same. The lines are actually parallel. We also have those marked the same, and these two marked the same. Now, what we need to find out, again, we have sides that are congruent. Do we have angles? Well, we have with this parallel line, we have alternate interior angles that can be named. So we can actually say angle A and E are congruent because they're alternate interior. Same way, I can say B and D are the same for the same reason. B and D due to alternate interior angles. And then angle C and angle C must be the same then because they are vertical angles, or we can just say by the third angles theorem. The third angle must always be the same as the first two are. So again, now we have all three sides, all three angles. Now we can make a congruent statement. I'm going to say triangle ABC, congruent to, let's make sure we're good. Angle A corresponds with E, so A and E must be the same. B and B, and then C and C. If I had said originally maybe ACB, this is another example, it would then be triangle ECD, just based on what pieces match up. Our last example, if it'll go to it, we wanted to write a congruent statement if we could for this triangle, or these pair of triangles right here, DEF and MNO. Same idea. We have two angles that are the same. We can then therefore say the third angles must be the same. So now we have all three pairs of angles. Do we have three pairs of sides as well? Yes. So I'm going to say triangle, we're going to go triangle FDE. So I went from the one angle mark to the 2 to the 3. So I have to do the same down here. From 1 to 2 to 3 is OMN. OMN. Now always want to go and check and make sure that we're in good shape with the sides as well. These are based just on the angles. Check the sides as well. Side FD had 3 angle markings. Side OM, when we look at it, also had 3 angle markings, so that one's good. If I look then maybe at DE and MN, DE has 1 mark, and MN also has 1 mark. So those ones are good. And the last one would be to look at ON and FE. ON, did I do that right? ON down here, right now it has 3 angle markings. It needs to have 2 angle markings for this to work, because FE has 2 angle markings. If this had 3 down here, then no, these are not congruent. However, if I say that it's only 2 angle markings down here, then it's good. You need to check, make sure all 3 segment pairs line up just like all 3 angle pairs did. And you can write this in any order, just as long as the corresponding pieces match up when you do it.